Hey you guys, how you doing? Welcome to Blending with Henry. My name is Henry. And Happy New Year of 2025. Now, even though it is February, or is it February? You guys have to help me out with that one. In the comments, please. So, even though it is February, I wanted to put out a new video for you guys. I haven't put anything out since last year. Now, I love coffee. I have always loved coffee. It's just been one of my favorite pastimes, was when I have my coffee, don't bother me. Don't call me. This is my personal space right now, right? Any one of you coffee drinkers out there understand that aroma in the morning just really makes you feel good, so I've always loved it. And I go all the way rogue. I drink it completely black, 100%, no sugar, no cream, no syrups. I've always been like that. For the past 15 years, I've been drinking French press. Now, I love French press because it's really rich. It brings out the bold taste in your coffee. But lately, I've been also getting into pour over. I like that lightweight taste as well, and it's really clean, and it also brings out a lot of the notes in the coffee. But I also realize either one of those two methods, either French press or, making it with pour over, it still takes a little bit of time, and sometimes I'm in a hurry. And when I am in a hurry, I need to get something quick. So I wanted something that I can just drop in the capsule and make the coffee and get on my way, right? So I have tasted Keurig over the years. No. Okay. No. Okay. Keurig is it's like Water City, and I apologize to anyone out there that loves Keurig coffee, but it's just like Water City. That's all it is. A real true coffee drinker understands what I'm talking about when it comes to Keurig. But I decided to go with Nespresso. Now, Nespresso, it brings out that rich taste of the coffee, just like I really like it. And it's simple to make. And I saw this great machine by Breville, it's actually by Nespresso, called the Vertuo Creatista. And I want to show you guys that machine. I have had trouble understanding names and how they, whatever Italian names, or I just had trouble with that. So leave me alone. Okay. So anyways, I want to show you guys. Let's go in the kitchen because I want to show you guys my passion, my love for coffee. Now, I really like this Nespresso machine. It has a lot of features. So we're going to go through an entire review, and I'm not holding back. I'm going to show you all the pros and cons because it definitely has some. Okay. Now, it makes 10 drinks. It makes 10 different drinks. And we're going to make all 10 of the drinks. That includes the espresso, double espresso. We're going to be making cappuccinos, lattes, macchiatos, you name it, right? So all the ones you get at Starbucks, now you can make them at home with this machine. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. Now, before we get started, please be kind and support Blending with Henry by hitting that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And I would really appreciate if you guys share my videos around the web on other social media platforms. It helps grow the channel and helps me so I can put out more great content for you guys because I got some really great stuff coming up, okay? So, appreciate you. Here's the box of the Nespresso Vertuo Creatista. Now, Nespresso has multiple companies manufacturing their espresso machines to their specifications, of course, but this version is all around a Breville creation using high-quality stainless steel and Breville's own hands-free automatic steam wand. In the box, you get 12 of the Vertuo line capsules or pods of different sizes and coffee strengths consisting of espresso, double espresso, 7.7 ounce coffee, and decaf. Now looking closely, you'll see a barcode around the rim of the capsules. The Nespresso reads the barcode and creates the coffee based on the capsule's intended use. Now this includes the temperature, the amount of water needed, and the extraction speed. You simply unlock this latch that opens the Nespresso to where the capsules are placed and the coffee is brewed. Now inside the lid, this small needle punctures the capsule and shoots water into it to brew the coffee. Up close, this is the compartment that the capsule fits in that also includes the barcode reader. Now it's really simple. You just insert the capsule, Close the lid and start brewing. When you're finished brewing, opening the lid automatically drops the used capsules into this compartment on the side of the machine. You can choose to recycle them through Nespresso's recycling program, or like some others, just throw them in the trash. This is the 2-liter water tank that fits on the back. Now I highly recommend you guys to use filtered water for the best taste of your coffee. A Breville exclusive feature is the power plug with the hole in the middle. Now you insert your finger and pull the plug. Now it saves you from yanking the cord. Now, be nice you guys, I already know what you're thinking, okay? The 3-prong power cord shows that it's grounded, and I like the heavy-duty thick cord which will withstand the wear and tear of life in the kitchen. Okay, you guys, so the first beverage we're going to make is an espresso shot. I'm raising the cup holder because we're going to be using an espresso shot glass. This is a single espresso pod. And all I have to do is click the brew button up top. So it spins up first to read the barcode on the pod before it begins to brew. And here's your finished 40 milliliter or 1.35 ounce espresso. Now, before we make the next coffee, I want to show you guys the difference between a centrifuge extraction versus a pressure-based espresso extraction. This is the Nespresso Creatista Pro. Now, it's the original line, and it uses a pressure-based system for espresso extraction. Now this is the Vertuo Creatista from the Vertuo line that uses centrifugal force to extract the coffee and espresso. Now instead of using pressure like traditional espresso machines, it spins the coffee capsule at 7,000 RPMs, combining it with water to create the coffee. They do not turn out the same quality of espresso, you guys, so let me show you the difference. Okay, so I'm putting in an original line capsule because they do not use the same capsules. Now, it's going to brew a traditional quality espresso. I've already put the capsule in the Vertuo machine, so it will brew right after the first one. And you can see that the Vertuo machine is creating a lot more crema. Now they are both espresso coffees, but there's a difference. Now this is the original line made with the Creatista Pro. Now the crema on top is naturally extracted by pressure as is done from a traditional espresso machine. Now this is from the Vertuo machine. Now while Nespresso loves to call this crema, and it may resemble it, it is nothing but created foam from the spinning capsule during brewing. There's a flavor difference. because naturally extracted crema from pressure gives a bitter edge in the crema, so you get a better quality espresso. Here's an overhead shot so you can see the foam versus the naturally extracted crema. Now we're making a double espresso, and he uses a larger capsule. Now it's the same as the first one, but a larger volume. On the left is the single espresso, and on the right is the double espresso at 80 milliliters or 2.70 ounces. Now, most of the coffee drinks made by the Vertuo Creatista will use either one of these sizes depending on volume, with the double espresso being used most for a stronger coffee taste. To make the Gran Lungo, I'm going to use a 12-ounce mug. This special capsule is made for the Gran Lungo. Now the barcode on the back, it tells the Nespresso to use more water in the extraction. Now with a Lungo, you get a coffee-like experience, but it'll be less strong since it's diluted with water. I like to recommend the Lungo if you're trying to break into drinking black coffee only. Now, it's an easier start. Another great feature about this hybrid Nespresso is it makes regular coffee in the size of 7.7 ounces. This is a larger capsule for coffee, and I'm brewing in a 14-ounce mug. Now the first thing you're going to notice is there's a lot of foam, or quote-unquote crema. Now this is the reason I use a larger mug to accommodate this. Now don't spoon out the foam, you guys. It will deflate quickly and become part of the coffee. A few years back, I made a cold brew coffee foam video. Now I'm not saying Nespresso's way is the same, but overall, it appears to be. Now, I'm sure many of you guys would appreciate this. It's an oat milk iced coffee topped with fresh made whipped cream. For the iced coffee, we're using the XL capsule, which is for 12 ounces, and I'm using a 16-ounce tumbler filled 3/4 of the way with ice cubes. What's unique about how it makes iced coffee is the brewing temperature is much lower to prevent the ice from melting. The ice is still there, you guys. It floated into the crema, okay? Now, for the oat milk, I'm using the Oatly Barista Edition. Now watch this. It just flows down into the coffee and a silky texture. Now I have some fresh made whipped cream here. Now you'd be surprised just how good this is without any sweetener. Even the whipped cream has no sweetener. It's the creaminess of all of the natural flavors together. When you try an espresso-made iced coffee, it may be worth the price of admission just to make this delicious beverage. If any of you guys are into pour-over coffee, you should be familiar with this carafe design. For the pour-over style carafe, you want to make sure to put the pouring lip right underneath the dispenser of the Nespresso machine. This is the pour-over style capsule. It's the largest of the bunch. You do a single press to extract the 18 ounces of pour-over style coffee. For pour-over style, it extracts the coffee differently. It starts off with a deep extraction, then changes to a lighter extraction, ending with what looks to be more watery close to the end. The pour-over style carafe comes with this silicone spoon, and you have to stir up the coffee due to the different levels of extraction during brewing. Pour-over is supposed to be a lighter, cleaner brew with a softer finish, which is why it's brewed this way. I've seen some other reviewers not loving how the coffee turns out, but anyone who enjoys pour-over coffee knows how it should taste. I really like it. Now this is better when you're serving multiple people, like for a party. Especially when you don't want them using up your best capsules. In my opinion, it makes for a great cup of coffee. But the only downside is Nespresso has only one pour-over style capsule, so there are no choices of different flavor profile coffees. This carafe is $49 USD. If you enjoy traditional pour-over as I do, you can use a Hario V60 dripper on top of it, so it definitely serves a universal use. One of the most popular drinks to buy at Starbucks is the Caffè Latte. Save yourself the money and make it yourself. It's too easy. I'm going to make an oat milk cafe latte, so we're going to start by steaming the oat milk. For the cafe latte, I'm using a double espresso capsule for a stronger flavor of coffee to stand up to the oat milk. This machine makes everything automatically, so it steams the oat milk first, then brews the espresso. It's important to wipe the steam wand with a moist cloth right after it froths the milk. You'll notice the steam wand purging itself to prevent clogging. It's as simple as pouring the steamed oat milk into your mug of espresso. Then topping off with the leftover foam. The cafe latte has a lot more milk, which differentiates it from the traditional cappuccino or flat white. And now the cappuccino. Espresso, steamed milk, and lots of foam. For the cappuccino, I'm using a double espresso capsule, and I'm using a traditional wide-mouth cappuccino mug. Right after the milk steaming begins, press the brew button so they work in succession. Now, just like the latte, you guys, you have your brewed espresso in your mug. Then you're going to pour your steamed milk into it. Now, the difference here is less steamed milk and more foam. You're putting a large foam cap on top. Oh, were you looking for latte art? Now that I'm blending with Henry, I don't know how to do that one. The flat white is closer to a cafe latte, where it's more about espresso and milk and very little foam. For all the milk drinks, I'm using a double espresso capsule. Now I'm using almond milk this time. Now it's really about preference. I'm showing how the steam wand efficiently steams plant-based milks. Once again, just like the latte, we're pouring the steamed almond milk into the espresso, followed by a small amount of foam for garnish. On the left is the flat white, and on the right is the cappuccino. Look 3/4 to the rim on the cappuccino and notice all the foam as well as the foam cap. Now this is what separates the cappuccino from the flat white. The latte macchiato, one of the most beautiful coffee drinks, and it's really just espresso and milk, but done a different way. Because of the way the latte macchiato is made, with lots of foamy steamed milk, I'm using dairy-based milk. Now, it foams up with more micro bubbles, but it's optional, and you can do this with plant-based milk as well. This is done differently, so we're steaming the milk first by itself. Now we're filling up the coffee mug with the foamy steamed milk. Once again, I'm using the double espresso capsule to handle the amount of milk. Now I'm going to turn it into a stronger espresso extraction using the expert mode by quickly double-clicking the brew button. The macchiato is made in the reverse way of the latte, whereas the espresso is brewed directly into the foamy steamed milk, creating layers. I love this drink. It's unique. Because of the layering, you get the creamy milk foam at the top, a nice hit of the espresso as you drink, and the espresso and milk blended together at the bottom. And you can add caramel on top if you want a caramel macchiato. It's really an amazing coffee beverage. I'm going to show you guys the difference in frothing texture between the plant-based milks and the dairy. This is the oat milk. This is the almond milk. And this is the dairy-based milk. Here are all three. Again, if you need the very fine microbubbles, the dairy is the winner here. Above the steam wand, there are two buttons to change the milk temperature and the frothing texture. For a flat white, it's one red light and one white light. For a cafe latte, it's two red lights and one white light. And for a cappuccino, it's two red lights and two white lights. For a latte macchiato, it's two red lights and three white lights. These settings are for the most optimal results, but you can customize your own milk settings to your liking. So you guys, here are my thoughts about the Breville Nespresso Vertuo Creatista. First, it's a very fine machine in design and build quality. It's certainly the best of the Vertuo line. I like the idea of the hybrid where it does espresso, lungos, regular 8-ounce coffee, iced coffee, milk-based espresso drinks, pour-over style, and it's great for simply steaming milk only. I mentioned that it's the best of the Vertuo line in build quality because I'm not super crazy about the plastic body and build quality of the cheaper Nespresso machines such as the Vertuo Pop Plus shown here. The steam wand is second to none. It's a commercial-grade steam wand, and the automatic hands-free steaming is an exclusive Breville design. The Vertuo capsules tell the Nespresso how to brew the coffee, but the downside is you can't fully customize how they brew, such as coffee temperature. For a machine of this caliber and higher price, I don't care for how cumbersome this door and locking mechanism are. For reference, the Nespresso Vertuo Plus model has an automatic lid and locking mechanism and is cheaper. While the steam wand is supremely ahead of the others, and I can appreciate the customization, I'm baffled why Nespresso didn't include any presets for commonly made drinks such as cappuccinos and lattes. I've had to open the manual quite often because I couldn't remember the settings for making a macchiato. Now this can be challenging, you guys, if you want to quickly make a specialty drink upon leaving for work. For reference, the Creatista Pro I showed earlier has a built-in high-resolution touchscreen to easily choose the drink of your preference, and you can customize coffee volume and milk settings. And the elephant in the room, the foam. The foam! The foam! Now, it looks nice, you guys. It's unique, but unlike naturally extracted crema from a pressure-based machine, the crema-like foam on the Vertuo machines does not add to the flavor in any way. And like I mentioned before, you guys, don't spoon it off, let it deflate into your coffee. Aside from a few downsides, this is the machine to buy if you want a barista-style experience with the ability to make standard 8-ounce coffee drinks. Now it has a large water tank as well, and it will look beautiful on any kitchen counter. Alright you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. And please support Blending with Henry by hitting that thumbs up, leave a comment, and use my links below the video to order any of the products listed. See you soon.